Hi, I'm Nova. Today, I'm going to tell you my story. But before I continue, please like, share, and subscribe to hear more stories like this. Nova, you need to help your sister. This is what family does, my mom said, pacing around my apartment kitchen. She'd shown up unannounced, as usual. Mom, I love Jade, but $50,000? That's insane. I've been saving for years to start my business. Your sister deserves her dream wedding. Blake's family can't contribute much, and your father and I already put in $30,000. I crossed my arms. So, because I've been responsible with my money, I have to bankroll Jade's extravagant party? She could have a beautiful wedding for under $15,000. It's not just a party. It's the most important day of her life. Mom slammed her hand on my counter, making me flinch. My answer is no. I can give her $3,000 as a gift, but that's it. Mom's face hardened in that way that always made me shrink as a child. You've always been selfish. Always. I thought I raised you better than this. Selfish? I paid my own way through college while Jade got her tuition covered. I've been working 60-hour weeks for years while she's been floating between jobs. How exactly am I the selfish one? Family helps family. Period. Mom grabbed her purse. You'll regret this, Nova. I didn't know how prophetic those words would be. 3 days later, I got a call from my bank about suspicious activity. Someone had withdrawn nearly all my savings, $47,000, and there were charges on my credit card totaling almost $5,000. What? That's impossible! I didn't authorize any of this. The withdrawals were made in person at your local branch with your ID and card, the bank representative explained. My stomach dropped. My wallet. I frantically searched my apartment but couldn't find it. Can you freeze everything right now? I asked, panic rising in my throat. Already done, but the transactions from yesterday have cleared. I called my dad immediately. Dad, someone stole my wallet and drained my accounts. I think it was Mom. Nova, that's a serious accusation. Your mother would never. Dad, she was here 3 days ago demanding money for Jade's wedding. Now my savings are gone. Almost exactly what she wanted for the wedding. Let me talk to her and call you back. 20 minutes later, my phone rang. Nova, your mother says she hasn't seen your wallet. Maybe you misplaced it and someone else took it. Did you ask her about the money? She said she doesn't know anything about it. I could hear the doubt in his voice. Dad, you know she's lying. I can't believe she would do something like this. There must be some explanation. Yeah, there is. She stole my money for Jade's wedding. Did you check her purse? Her car? His silence told me everything. Nova, I'll figure this out. Just don't do anything rash, okay? After we hung up, I called my best friend Mia. Mia, I need your help. My mom stole my wallet and drained my accounts. What? Are you serious? Dead serious. She wanted 50 grand for Jade's wedding. I refused, and now my money's gone. That's insane. Have you called the police? I hesitated. Not yet. I wanted proof first. Nova, this is theft. Major theft. You need to report it. I know, but it's my mom. Who stole your life savings? Call the police, then call me back. Filing the police report was one of the hardest things I'd ever done. The officer was sympathetic but direct. Miss Turner, do you have any proof your mother took your wallet? She was at my apartment 3 days ago. She demanded the exact amount that was stolen for my sister's wedding. It can't be a coincidence. We'll investigate, but without evidence linking her directly to the theft, it might be difficult to prove. That evening, Jade called me, furious. How could you accuse Mom of stealing from you? She would never do that. Jade, my wallet disappeared after she visited, and then someone withdrew exactly what she wanted for your wedding. Connect the dots. Maybe if you weren't so selfish and just helped with my wedding, none of this would have happened. Are you serious right now? You think this is my fault? Mom and Dad have always given you everything, and the one time I need help. Given me everything? I've worked for everything I have, which is nothing now thanks to your precious wedding. Blake's family is loaded. You're just too proud to ask for help when you need it. I took a deep breath. Jade, did Mom give you money recently? For the wedding? There was a pause. Too long of a pause. Jade? She made a deposit yesterday for the venue and caterer. My blood ran cold. How much? I don't see why that matters. How much? 40,000, okay? But she said it was from her and Dad's savings. I laughed bitterly. And you believed her? Dad told me last month they were struggling to come up with their share. Where would she suddenly get $40,000? I don't know. Maybe she took out a loan. Call the venue. Ask when the deposit was made. I bet it was yesterday, right after my money was stolen. This is ridiculous. I'm not doing that. Fine. The police will figure it out anyway. The police? Nova, you called the police on our mother? She stole $50,000 from me, Jade. What was I supposed to do? You're going to ruin everything? My wedding is in 2 months. Your wedding? That's what you're worried about? Not the fact that our mother committed a felony? I don't believe you. Mom would never do this. I hung up, shaking with anger. The next day, I got a call from Detective Carter. Miss Turner, we've made some progress in your case. We have security footage from the bank showing someone using your ID. Would you be able to come identify them? At the police station, Detective Carter showed me the footage. There she was, my own mother, withdrawing my money using my ID. My hands shook as I watched. That's my mother, Patricia Turner. Thank you. We'll bring her in for questioning. 2 hours later, my phone rang. It was my dad, his voice broken. Nova, they've arrested your mother. Dad, I saw the footage. She did it. I know. I found your wallet in her dresser drawer and receipts from the wedding vendors. I'm so sorry, Dad. No, I'm sorry. I should have believed you immediately. His voice cracked. She's being charged with identity theft and grand larceny. What about the money? Most of it went to wedding deposits, but they're refundable. I'll make sure you get it all back. My dad came over that night looking 10 years older. I went through her phone, he said, sitting heavily on my couch. She'd been planning this for weeks, Nova. There were text messages to Jade about getting the money one way or another. Jade knew? Not exactly. Your mother told her she was working on getting the funds, but never specified how. Still, Jade should have questioned it when your mom suddenly had all that money. Did you talk to Jade? Dad nodded slowly. She's in denial. Keeps saying your mother must have had a good reason. He rubbed his face. I've been blind, Nova, for years. Your mother always favored Jade, and I never stepped in. I just told myself that's how mothers and daughters are sometimes. It's not your fault, Dad. It is. I enabled her behavior, and now look where we are. The next morning, I was surprised to see Aunt Rachel, Mom's sister, at my door. Nova, can we talk? I reluctantly let her in, preparing for another lecture about family loyalty. I heard what Patricia did, she said, sitting at my kitchen table. I wanted you to know not everyone in the family thinks you did the wrong thing. You believe me? Honey, your mother has always been controlling. When we were kids, she'd take my things if I didn't do what she wanted. Money, clothes, even my diary once. She reached for my hand. What she did to you is criminal, and you were right to report it. Jade and her friends are saying I'm overreacting, that I should have just let Mom pay me back eventually. That's nonsense. Patricia stole your identity and took your life savings. That's not something you get over or forgive because of family ties. Later that evening, Blake, Jade's fiancé, called me unexpectedly. Nova, I just heard what happened. I had no idea. Does Jade know the truth now? Yes, she's devastated. But I wanted you to know I'm calling off the wedding. What? Why? Because I can't marry into a family where this happens. Jade knew deep down where that money came from, but she didn't question it because she wanted her dream wedding. That's not the person I thought I was marrying. I'm sorry, Blake. Don't be. You're the only honest one in this situation. 2 weeks later, I received a call from a blocked number. It was Jade. Is it true? Did you tell Blake to leave me? What? No, Jade. Blake made that decision himself. You ruined everything. My wedding, my relationship, Mom's life. Jade, Mom ruined those things when she stole my money, and you ruined things when you accepted stolen money for your wedding. I didn't know it was stolen. Come on, Jade. You knew Mom didn't have that kind of money sitting around. You just didn't want to ask questions because you wanted your perfect wedding. That's not true. Tell me honestly, when Mom suddenly had $40,000 right after I refused to pay for your wedding, you didn't think that was suspicious? The silence on the other end was deafening. That's what I thought, I sighed. Jade, I'm not the villain here. I'm the victim. You could have dropped the charges. We're family. Family doesn't steal from each other. Family doesn't prioritize a party over someone's life savings and future. When Mom did that, she stopped being family to me. 3 days later, Mia came over with wine and takeout. So your mom's really facing charges? She asked, pouring me a glass. Yep, grand larceny, identity theft, and bank fraud. Dad's selling their vacation property to pay for her lawyer. And Jade? Blake called off the wedding. She's furious with me, says I ruined her life. Unbelievable. She's still not taking any responsibility? Nope, Mom either. She told Dad I was forcing her hand by being selfish. Can you believe that? What about your money? Dad's working with the vendors to get the deposits back. The bank is investigating the credit card charges. I should get most of it back eventually. Good. And your business plans? On hold for now. But I'm actually thinking about writing a book about financial abuse in families. There are so many people who go through stuff like this. That's actually a great idea. The preliminary hearing was a nightmare. Mom's attorney tried to paint her as a desperate mother trying to help her daughter. My attorney presented the evidence methodically. The security footage, the text messages, my wallet found in her possession, the wedding vendor receipts. During a recess, my mother approached me in the hallway. Nova, please, you can still make this go away. Tell them you're not pressing charges. After what you did? Not a chance. I'm your mother. I gave birth to you, raised you, and then stole from me. We're way past the I'm your mother card. What will happen to me in prison? Have you even thought about that? Actually, I have. And you know what? You should have thought about that before you stole $50,000 from your own daughter. A month later, I received a letter from my mother's attorney. She wanted to meet. Against Mia's advice, I agreed. The prison visiting room was cold and sterile. When they brought my mother in, she looked smaller somehow, less intimidating. Nova, thank you for coming. What do you want, Mom? I wanted to apologize. What I did was wrong. I laughed. Now you're sorry? Now that you're facing prison time? I know you won't believe me, but I really thought I was doing what was best for our family. Jade deserved... Don't you dare make this about Jade. This was about control. You couldn't stand that I said no to you. I was desperate. The wedding was going to be called off. And now it is anyway. And you're facing prison time. Was it worth it, Mom? She looked down at her hands. I made a terrible mistake. I'm asking for your forgiveness. Why? So I'll drop the charges? Tell the judge to go easy on you? No, because you're my daughter and I love you. If you loved me, you wouldn't have stolen from me. You wouldn't have betrayed my trust. You wouldn't have chosen Jade's wedding over my future. Please, Nova, I'm begging you. No. You don't get forgiveness just because you want it. You stole my life savings. You violated my trust in the worst possible way. Actions have consequences, Mom. What can I do to make this right? Nothing. There's nothing you can do. I'm moving forward with my life and you're not going to be part of it. As I stood to leave, she called after me. Nova, please, I'm your mother. I turned back one last time. You stopped being my mother the moment you decided to steal from me. 6 months later, my mother was sentenced to 3 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 18 months. Dad filed for divorce. Jade eventually apologized, but our relationship remained strained. I got most of my money back and used it to launch my financial consulting business, specializing in helping victims of financial abuse. My business took off faster than I expected. There was a real need for someone who understood financial trauma from personal experience. I hired Mia as my operations manager, and together we built a team dedicated to helping others protect their assets from manipulative family members. Dad moved to a small apartment near mine. We have dinner once a week now, something we never did when Mom was around. He's dating again, a kind woman named Diane who treats him with respect. Jade reached out on my birthday last year. Nova, I've been doing a lot of therapy, she said over coffee. I realize now that I was Mom's favorite because I was easier to control. You always stood your ground, and she hated that. It took you long enough to see it. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I'm sorry I blamed you. Thanks for saying that. But I'm not ready to have you back in my life. I understand. Maybe someday? Maybe, but not today. Sometimes I think about visiting Mom in prison. But then I remember how easily she violated my trust. How she chose Jade over me. How she tried to control my life by taking what was mine. And I realize that some betrayals can't and shouldn't be forgiven. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to cut a toxic family member out of your life?